Hello, hello, and welcome to the Moana Adams podcast, where we talk all things travel, wellness, and teenage girl. I'm your host, Moana, a full-time travel teen. I have a great episode for you this week, so let's get into it. Hello, hello. Okay, before we get started, I want to say you might hear background noise this episode, and I'm pretty sure that the audio quality of this episode is not going to be as good as normal, because I am recording in the rig instead of the Jeep, because I'm at the rig by myself right now, so the rest of the family is in the Jeep. We had a little switch, and here's the thing about today's episode. This is episode 10. Episode 10 has been a very, very, very difficult episode to do. Originally, I thought I was going to talk all about goals. I went to outline that episode. Brain went blank. I got nothing. So then I was like, all right, I'll do a 2023 or 2022 breakdown and like a year wrap up and talk about my year, and went to record that. Didn't like it. I guess I was in a weird mood when I recorded that, but it was not good. So then I had my mom give me the idea to do a quick 2022 favorites. Recorded that episode the other day, and the audio got messed up. So, we're doing 2022 favorites right now. It's going to be a quick episode because things are very crazy for me right now because I am back in Georgia. Today is Thursday, December 15th, so I've been here for not quite a week yet. We got here on Sunday, and it's very weird. That's really all I have to say about it because we haven't been here quite long enough for me to form more opinions, and I haven't had any big epiphanies about being back home versus being on the road yet. It's just weird because it's almost like it kind of feels like time stopped for a year here because everything is basically the same as I left it. There's some new construction, and I definitely think that my family who traveled changed a lot compared to people who stayed here because we're moving, we're learning a lot compared to how everyone else was still learning and growing, but at a slower rate because they were just at home doing their day-to-day life. So that's kind of where I am. Let's do gratefuls. I'm grateful that I am getting to spend time with friends this weekend. I haven't seen my best friends in a year, and today I get to see my friend Serenity for the first time in a year, and then tomorrow I'll see Raina, and I'm very excited to see them. And for currently loving is... what am I currently loving? You know what? Right now I'm currently loving everything hazelnut. My mom has an event tonight, and she asked me to make 2 big charcuterie boards, 20-person charcuterie boards. One dessert and one classic. So I was doing that this morning, and it was fun but also kind of stressful because I didn't have much time to plan everything out. But for the dessert one, I've been on such a hazelnut kick that I got Nutella. I got, for dipping strawberries and stuff, I got those hazelnut wafer stick things, and I got chocolate truffles that have hazelnut, and I stole all the hazelnut ones, so I'm going to eat those in a minute. And macaroons. I love macaroons. So, let's go ahead and get into my favorites, because those are all basically my currently lovings. And I have a couple different categories. We got food, clothes, beauty, apps, media, and then random. So, we're going to start with food, because food is delicious. My top 3 foods this year. First up is the Chobani mixed berry on the bottom Greek yogurt. I eat one of those almost every morning. I ate one an hour ago. They are delicious. It's a yogurt cup, and it's got a mixed berry type jelly on the bottom, and then it's got Greek yogurt on top, and I always stir mine to mix it up, and it's really good. I eat it all the time. It has a ton of probiotics, and the ingredients are fairly good and clean. And then next up is protein pasta. I eat protein pasta every single day because it's delicious and it's super high in protein, which I don't get enough of because I love pasta. but I can't just eat pasta all the time. I need protein and other things. And that has so much, like a ridiculous amount of protein in it. And I like to change it up with different sauces and things. I really like truffle sauce on it. Pesto is good. Classic butter and cheese because comfort foods. Protein pasta, so good. And then the last food thing is Tru Fru. It's TRUFRU, and it has the little 2-dot accents on top of it. I don't know what they're called. Oh my god, these are so good. I love them. It's a dessert, and basically it's frozen fruit dipped in white chocolate that's then dipped in milk or dark chocolate. So good. You keep them in the freezer, and basically what they do is they flash freeze the fruit. I like the raspberry one, so we'll go with raspberry. And then they dip it in the white chocolate, dip it in the milk chocolate, and they keep them in the freezer, and you can eat them for dessert, and they're so good. I eat way too many of them. They're delicious. They can be a little bit hard to find sometimes. Some stores don't carry them, and it always moves around. Sometimes I find them in the, like, ice cream section, and sometimes they're in the frozen fruit section. But either way, they're delicious, and they have really great ingredients, too. So I love them, and I eat them all the time. All right, let's move on to clothes. For stores, Aerie. I love Aerie. I've been liking Aerie for probably 2 years now, after I discovered what Aerie was in the beginning of high school. But there's 3 main pieces from there that I've gotten throughout this year that I absolutely love. First up, the high-waisted extra crossover leggings is, I think, what they're called. They're so buttery soft, and they have the crossover detail on the waistband. They're high-waisted, which I love. I have black ones, and they have pockets, and they have their extra support ones, and I really like it. I will say that they do collect pet hair quite a bit, so you need one of those roller things, especially if you have black ones like mine. But I still love them, and they're so comfortable. So comfortable. And then the next thing is literally the best bra on the planet. It's the padded ribbed bralette. They have 3 different styles. I'm not sure the exact name of it, but I think it's a scoop neck. I have one in forest green, and I love it. It's so comfortable. I absolutely love them. The most comfortable bras I've ever worn. The best thing ever. And then the last one is a pair of sweatpants/joggers. I never know the difference between the two, or if there is a difference. But they're called the Corset Joggers, or sweatpants. I don't remember. But they're called corset because they have a ribbed, triangular shaped detail at the top of the waistband with a zipper on it. I've never seen anything like it before, but I love them, and they're so comfortable, and they fit so well. I just love them. And then last thing for clothes is high top Converse. I used to be a low top girl, and I always wore low tops, but this year it's only high tops for me. I basically wore high tops all year long. I have 3 pairs of high tops. 1 pair I think is too small. I haven't worn them in forever, but I have 2 pairs that I wear a lot. I have a pair of black ones that I'm actually wearing right now, and they have they're from the Camp Converse line. They're actually boys' shoes, which, by the way, big kids boys' shoes on Converse, if you have a small foot like mine, I wear a 5, but I think it would work for up to a size 6. Look at kids' Converse shoes because the sizes go pretty high. I wear a big kids 3 in Converse, so I definitely have room to keep doing that, but the reason is it's much cheaper to buy kids' shoes than adult shoes. So if you have a tiny foot, I highly suggest looking and seeing if you fit into those. But I have the black Camp Converse ones that I wear all the time, and they're very dirty, and they're the ones that I like get dirty. And then I have my red ones that I wear for nicer things, and then I try to keep really clean. I love both of them, and I love how comfortable, they're so comfortable to me. Some people don't like the way they feel, but I love them. So what are you gonna do? Okay. Next category is beauty, skincare, makeup, whatever. I got 3 things. 1 is just the red lip. I love the red lip. I've said it before, but I love it. If you look at my Instagram, you can see that I love it because I wear it all the time. And to me, it's so powerful and strong, and it's bold but also minimal, because I'm very much, like, my style is very minimalist, but then I like that pop of color and that boldness of it. And actually, I learned that in Nazi Germany, Hitler would not allow women to wear the red lip. It was illegal. And, like, you could be tried and killed for it. So I think that's, like, a very interesting fact, and it makes me want to wear it even more. And I love it so much. Most of the time, I use the Superstay Matte Ink Liquid Lipstick from, who is it from? Maybelline. My aunt showed it to me the last time I went to homecoming, and that's what she put on me then, and I loved it. It stays on forever. It does get kind of clumpy, so I'm trying to figure out how to do that, and it's very drying. But if you're trying to get it to stay on, and if you're trying to eat, use that one because it will not come off. When we were in New York, I wore that, and I ate a whole bagel, and then I had a whole piece of New York pizza, and it still was on. It didn't come off. I did have to put, like, a little bit of extra on after my bagel, but that's just because it was, like, kind of dry. But it does not come off at all. And then the next two things, first is I don't know how to pronounce this. I think it's Verage. I think it's Verage. The Verage Moisturizer from doTERRA. I use all of doTERRA's skin products, but this moisturizer, me, Smom, and my mom, we all use the same one because it's very light but also works so well. It was actually really funny yesterday. I watched my mom put it on, and she put so much in her hands, and then I always put, like, the smallest little dot and use so little, and she was, like, squirted all across her finger, and I was like, oh my god, that's so much. She's like, that's how much I always use. And so we had, like, a conversation about it, like, how she uses so much. I'm like, you don't need that much. And it was very funny. But it's a really great moisturizer. It's very light. I think it's also good for sensitive skin. Last thing is Elate Cosmetics. I got these last year for Christmas, and it's a more sustainable, eco-friendly makeup company. And I have some of their products. I pretty much use only their stuff and the Maybelline lipstick. That's pretty much all I use makeup-wise. But their brow balm is super great, and their mascara is great because most sustainable swaps for mascara, it's in a tin and you have, like, a brush. But this is just like a normal mascara. Like, you can't tell the difference. It behaves just like a normal one. It's great. I love it. I wear very light mascara, so it works really well for me, but I really like it. And then bonus thing, Eco Tools makeup brushes. I have a ton of those. They're the only makeup brushes that I use. I love them. I have this one set from them where you can change out the brush. So, like, the top of where the actual brush part is, you can take that off the handle and replace it. So, they're really cool. I love all their stuff. And I use their scalp massager, which is the best scalp massager ever. It's very strong. The one I have at my mom's, I don't know where it's from, but it's not the same. Next is apps. I feel like this is probably my favorite. No, the next one's my favorite, but this is my second favorite section. So, first up is Notion. Y'all know I love Notion. I talk about it all the time. I have an unhealthy amount of lists on here. I use it for everything. I use it to organize my school stuff, to organize the podcast stuff, to organize my watch list. Everything is on Notion. It's so easy to use once you know how to do it. It's so customizable. It looks exactly how I want it to look, and I just love it so much. And it's like I can color code it, and I just love it. So Notion, and then next is CapCut. I've been using CapCut for 6 months now, and I use it to edit all of my reels. So if you follow me on Instagram at the Moana Adams or on the podcast at the Moana Adams Podcast, I post a few times a week on there. I post reels, and I use CapCut to edit all of my reels. I love it. And then the last thing, and I have tried other editing apps. The Premiere Rush from Adobe is good. However, it just didn't work for me as well as CapCut does, and I love that CapCut has no watermarks. I don't remember if Premiere had watermarks, but most video editing things do have watermarks, and CapCut doesn't. It automatically adds one at the end, but you can remove it anytime you want. So I love that. And then the last one is, I also don't know how to say this. I think it's French, and it's called Yuka, Yuka. And it's a food scanning app, so you can scan the barcode on different food products and see if it has any hazardous additives or what's the protein content and all those kinds of things, and it gives it a score out of 100. And it's actually really cool. I like that it shows the additives, because that's very helpful to see immediately, like, oh, it has all these things that can cause this. Okay, great. Shouldn't eat that. Oh, this. And it gives you replacements. So instead of eating this, I can eat this instead. So it's really cool. I like to do it in the store. It's very fun to scan all the different things because it gives it points. Like M&Ms are like a 0 on the scale, and then like the protein pasta is like a 90. So it's really fun to like see all the different scores. Okay, this is my favorite category, media. So we're talking music, movies, shows. First up, music. My favorite artist this year, and who will probably continue to be my favorite artist next year, is Claire Rosencrantz. I love her stuff. If you don't know who I'm talking about, you might know her song from TikTok and Instagram, Backyard Boy. It blew up a couple years ago on TikTok, and I love her music. I think it's considered indie pop, what she does. But I've never been able to find someone similar to her in the way that she uses her voice and different things to make such unique sounds in her music, and I just love it. I love it. And then for shows, I am not a big Stranger Things person. I know Stranger Things 4 came out. I watched it, but I watched it because I have friends who were on the show. So Stranger Things was not really my jam. But what was my jam this year is Wednesday. I know everybody's talking about Wednesday right now. I watched it twice, like within the week and a half that it came out. And I love it. It's really good. I was not exceptional. I was not super happy with the ending, but Jenna Ortega is an absolutely incredible actress, and I love how she played Wednesday. My dad always says that I'm just like Wednesday, so I was very excited for that to come out, and I loved it. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Everybody loves it. My whole family loved it. My mom loved it. My brother loved it. I loved it. Mom loved it. And my dad loved it. Like, my dad did not want to watch it, but we convinced him to, and he's like, wow, I'm really glad we watched that. That was totally worth watching. So get your family to watch it. It's so good. And then movies is everything and anything MCU. I love Marvel. My brother loves Marvel. My whole family loves Marvel. And I actually packed up to go. We have Marvel suitcases. It's sitting right in front of me. But I love Marvel. I could not tell you what my favorite movie was. It's impossible. I can tell you what my favorite show is. My favorite show is Hawkeye. Love that. Kate Bishop, Yelena. I love Florence Pugh. She's my favorite actress. So that whole combination, beautiful. Movie-wise, I could tell you like my favorite holiday-themed movie, my favorite funny movie, my favorite Avengers movie, but I could not tell you one movie and just pick one. I couldn't do it. But the MCU, great. Love it. And then last category is the random stuff. First up is the Rocketbook. The Rocketbook is a notebook, and it's a reusable notebook. So you use these specific pens from Pilot Friction, and you write on it just like normal paper, and it does take a minute for the ink to dry, longer than normal paper, but once it dries, you can like put your fingers on it and stuff. Like normal paper, it doesn't come off until you get a wet cloth, and it comes with a cloth. I lost mine, but you wipe it away, and it's like a fresh piece of paper. And it has an app and a QR code that you can use to scan the page, and it sends it to your email, your Google Drive, your Dropbox, your iCloud, wherever you want it to go. I use it for school. I used it as a homeschooler and a public school student. It worked fine for public school, except for when we had open note tests, and I couldn't be on my computer to get my notes up. That was the only time that it did not work. My teachers would offer to print out my notes for me, but I always told them no, because the point of having the Rocket Book is to reduce paper waste, and that defeats the purpose. So definitely keep your notes in there longer if you know you're going to have an open note quiz or ask, or just keep them in there for the unit. There's lots of pages, so you don't have to worry about that. For homeschool, it works great. I'm able to clean it out when I need to, and I love it. It works so well. And then the final thing on the list is a game. I might only like this game because I won, but it's called Brain Spin. We found it in a shop when we were near Boston, and it's a small deck of cards with little doodles on them. It's like all the cards are white and they have black drawings on them, like it might be a square with the center not filled in, or like a stair shape. And you lay the card down, set a timer for 60 seconds, and then everyone has to race to see how many things you can come up with what it looks like. I won last time we played, and it's a ton of fun. So yeah, those are my 2022 favorite things. I feel like I talked very fast today, but I wanted this episode to be short because I need a quick editing session, not a 3-hour-long editing session today. Next week, I promise, the episode will be much more higher educational value. We're talking about reinventing yourself in the new year, and it's going to be really great. But for this week, y'all get a quick, fun, little bit of a get to know me, because I feel like the things that we like really shows our personality. Thank you so much for listening. Be sure to give this podcast a rate and review, as well as follow me on all my socials linked in the show notes. Don't forget to drink some water, and I'll talk to you later.